Welcome to Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya, and now more than ever. I'm Jeff Koinange. Now, all this week, we're going to try and keep the momentum on the issues at hand, the issues in the front pages. And on this day, we're going to try and shed some light on them, literally. Because my guest today, not only preeminent businesswoman in town, she started a company called Adopt a Light, trying to light up the city. And she did her best to do it until she ran into a brick wall. That's besides the point. She also ran for office in Embakasi the last time around. And in her words, she's glad that she was rigged out because she would hate to be a part of this 10th Parliament. A lot of issues to cover. The recent UN Rapporteur's report. Should the police commissioner be sacked? Should the AG resign? May scandals, oil scandals, Grand Coalition. Where is this country heading? Like I said, let's start off the week by shedding some light with none other. MD for Adopt a Light, Esther Passaris. Esther, hi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Did I say something wrong?
Yes.
What?
MD.
No longer?
No.
But you're still a part of it?
I'm the founder, I'm the chair. I'm currently in there trying to audit it and get it back together again. But not the MD.
All right, real quick, Esther. I tell you, that last week, the UN Rapporteur, Professor Philip Olsen, comes out with this damning report. By the way, he was invited by the government. Let's put this right out there. He was invited by the government. Obviously, he said something they didn't want to hear. They're in a tizzy trying to discredit him. And this is someone who was telling us how wrong he was saying it like it is.
You know what, Jeff, everything we do is cosmetic. We don't do anything with the real intent to solve the problem. So if we really wanted to solve the problem, then we would take that report and act on it. Because really, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, he was here for 10 days, fine. Let's say he doesn't understand Kenyan. But if you ask me today, who should be fired? He has only 2 people out of the 6 that should go immediately out of office.
You mean there are more?
Of course, there are more that should go because they're holding Kenya on a standstill. Kenya's not moving.
Name
We're
the other
stuck.
4. Name the other 4.
The other 4. Ringira should go. Mudhaura should go. Justice Gisheru should go. And we've got, obviously, the police commissioner, Amos Wako. One more.
What about President and Prime Minister? While we're at it.
Look, a country needs a head, all right? So you really can't fire them. They will be fired by the electorate because they will not come back. All right, Kibaki obviously has no intention of running for office, but he should also not think that the person he tells us, Tosha, we will listen. So he's lost his mandate from the Kenyan people. We just want to see him gone, and that's it.
Esther, you know what Kenya's like, right? Kenyans, they'll make noise for 1-2 days. Boom, the story will end. Life goes on. I don't think the commissioner's going anywhere. AG, I doubt he's going to resign.
Let me tell you what, it would be a shame because really, when you look at the Attorney General, he's outlived his time. 18 years, he can no longer see what's wrong with the system. He's part of the wrong, so he can't see it. Nobody's going to look there and say, I'm doing something wrong. But I've been in cases where the Attorney General's office is supposed to be involved. And I have not seen their representation come to the cases. They don't even put a defense. They just walk in there and support this and support that. And these are people that are paid by the taxman, where they should come in because these are issues of law, issues of legislation, where they learn and they go and do the necessary bills. I mean, we've had this story forever, the ping pong between Ringira and Amos Wako. And I'm sitting there thinking, and here's Martha now wanting to be president. Why couldn't the 3 of them just sit down, send the bill to Parliament to actually make sure we can tackle corruption? Everybody loves the status quo because the status quo enables us to do all the things we want to do and not get checked, not get made accountable.
And now it looks like the Grand Coalition is eating even more because they know they have a short time, Esther. You know, between now and 2012, there's not that much time and everybody's got their fingers in the cookie jar.
You see, what they're trying to do right now is amass as much wealth as possible because come the next election, they're looking at the electorate and saying we need to go back and buy votes. I really pray and hope that my gut feeling is right in that Kenyans will not be bought come 2012.
We said that in 07 about 02. We said it'll never happen
but
again.
Let me tell you something. 07, we were not really bought. What happened in Kenya, I mean, I agree with Kriegler. It's probably very difficult to establish whether it was Kibaki or Raila who won. But the fact that 50% of the nation moved one direction 50% did not want the status quo. That shows you that you could not buy 50% of Kenya. Come 2012, you will not be able to buy 70% of Kenya. And then we're heading into a situation where you get leaders that you actually elect, not that you deserve. Because in the past, we've been getting leaders that we deserve because we were not educated enough. We had not suffered enough. I mean, you go into the slums, what is written on everyone's face is suffering. You know, people can't bury their dead, can't pay their medical bills, can't eat at night, can't sleep safely, can't even hold on to the little assets that they've possessed. I mean, yesterday, my maid's house in Kangemi for the 3rd time running has been cleaned out. I mean, this is a woman who cannot even hold to her little luxuries. Why? Because the system has collapsed. There's no more security. That's why Ali should go. There's no more prosecution of criminals. I mean, you hear stories between them that we arrest them, we send them to courts, the courts dismiss them. I mean, we really need to come up with permanent solutions to these problems. If that is the problem, then bring it out. Let's deal with it. You know, I mean, we have so many problems that we just discuss. We become a nation of talkers. We just talk and we do a lot of PR exercises. I mean, hiring Alfred Mutua was probably one of the greatest things that the government did in terms of PR, because all they're doing from morning till evening is bombarding us with, this is how we've performed, this is what we're planning on doing, this is how we're doing it. But, I mean, tomorrow I understand that they're going to be telling us how they're performing. They don't need to tell us how they're performing. We can see and feel their performance, you know. So I think that it's becoming such a shame that all we're doing is rubbishing Kenyans. Yeah.
Bottom line, Esther, what went wrong, do you think? What went wrong? I mean, look, it's just been the anniversary of 1 year since the signing of the National Peace Accord, right? That euphoria, that greeted that, yes, finally, we got to the edge of the cliff, we pulled back. Now Kenya will finally get its act together. A year later, where are we?
We've still got IDPs in the camps, and besides the IDPs, I know quite a number of the people that are in those camps are also people that basically had nothing else. We've got, as usual, land in the hands of a few in Kenya. So you've got a situation of unemployment, lack of hope, no assets, no resources, and no future. Who has a vision? Who is thinking of how we're going to actually keep everyone employed? I mean, they watch CNN, for heaven's sake. They watch Sky News. They have Obama, who is got Kenyan parentage. You know, why aren't we thinking of how are we going to emulate them? What are we doing to create jobs? We're actually going to end up with more jobs being cut and more poverty and more desperation in Kenya. So where we're going wrong is lack of vision. We don't have vision. We don't go into leadership because we want to see change. We don't have the will to actually make things better for the country. We go in there to amass wealth for ourselves, our families, and our friends. That's why you see a leader, his son right behind him in a big state function. Why? You know, we saw that with the Kenyatas, we saw that with the Mois, we're seeing that with the Kibakis, we're now seeing it again with the Prime Minister's family. I mean, we need to reach a point where you're a leader for the country. And you're driven for the country, not for your friends, not for your family.
Aren't you glad, Esther, that you're not part of this 10th Parliament, this so-called August House? Aren't you glad at the end of the day?
Let me tell you what. I mean, I'm happy because I really don't think I would have achieved what I wanted in there. But I'm sad because I really think that the people of Embakasi were shortchanged, given a leader who really doesn't know what to do with them and uses the constituency to amass more wealth for himself in terms of the dumping site, which is going to stay there throughout his term. It's not going to go anywhere unless, of course, Michuki decides that, you know, enough is enough and we're going to do something about it. I mean, I see a few movements in his direction and in Mutoya Kilonzo's direction. But